Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is doing well. I am extra super nauseous, but you know, life must go on, so here I am. I am 12 weeks pregnant today. I'm super excited and rejoicing over that reality. We've had 2 miscarriages, and so we did have one in September, so this is my rainbow baby, and it's just truly, truly humbling to be able to be carrying a 6th child. But it can be challenging. But I get to rejoice in the fact that I get to work from home. This is something that I get to do. It's my choice, and I get to earn an income from it. So I am so thankful, and I hope I'm in the right group. I've done that before too. So if you hop on, please let me know that you're here. So I want to talk about debt payoff and wealth building, and not wealth building, but just being on the same page, changing your mindset and that type of thing. And essentially, yes, wealth building over time. So first off, I know for us personally, when the reason that we struggled and we fought so hard to maintain, paying off of our debt was because we didn't want to affect our credit score. We foresaw us getting out of our predicament. We did not think that it was going to take as long as it has, or as long as it did take. But we definitely, we fought for that. And one of the things that we learned from Dave Ramsey was that, debt doesn't show that you have money. It shows that you have debt. And I kind of shared a quote about that, and I'm probably paraphrasing it horribly. But it doesn't show sign of wealth. It shows sign of debt. And, when we had to learn, that didn't define who we are. The bottom line is that we were $32,000 in debt. And, when we hit that time, it was a reflection of, we had to really sit down and say, are we going to file bankruptcy? Because that was a choice that we had. And I will say that me personally, I have filed bankruptcy before. A Chapter 7, and everything was completely dissolved. And that wasn't something that I wanted to do again, primarily because this was our debt. This was something that when I filed bankruptcy before, I wasn't a Christian, and I was just kind of like, well, let it just be done and gone. And I'm not saying that there aren't predicaments where you do have to make that decision, and that's your decision. But for us personally, it was definitely something that we needed to we needed to consider as it's our responsibility to pay off this debt. And so when we had to make that decision to default on a bill in order to be able to get our savings going and in order to be able to pay things off, it just didn't make sense at first. But like I said yesterday, everything's paid off. It's all paid off in a matter of 18 months. And so it works. The system works. You just have to trust it. And that's where having a change of mindset is extremely important. So I have my handy dandy notes here. Just a couple of quotes that really resonated with me. Something that was said was, I don't like discipline, but I like what it produces. We don't want to do the work. We just want the fruit of the work. And that's not how being debt-free looks. That's not how wealth building looks. That's not how health and fitness looks. That's not how raising fruitful children looks. I mean, for anything that you want to have something of benefit, you have to work for it. Discipline is not fun or seems pleasant, but it does produce fruit. And it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like, we're running a long race. It's not something that happens overnight. And it's tough, but it is worth it. I promise you. So, one of the things, first and foremost, Dave Ramsey has the Financial Peace University. There's a lot of PDF forms that you can go and print out and work on your own. They do have like a 1-year membership that you can access. They are having a sale right now. I can provide that link. So basically you have 1 year to be able to watch all of the DVDs that I mentioned that we've watched before. And then you have access to the budget planning and all of those things. I personally had this book and audios that we watched from home. And I will say that if we had the DVDs, it would have been really, really nice. And long term, we want to purchase the DVDs and be able to provide them, like host something in our home and just be able to be of encouragement to local, our local friends and family. But so there are some options, and I'd be happy to share those with you if this is something that you find of interest. This is not the only option that you have. This is just what we found to work before. My husband and I, we have paid off debt before. We've paid off $45,000 in 18 months. We did it when we were both working, and when combined, our income was just over $100,000. So it's really easy to pay off $45,000 with a shared income of $100,000. Last year, we reported at just under $30,000, and this year it was about $38,000. So, or maybe, I'm not even sure that number is correct. I know the number, but I'm kind of fogged with numbers. So we're dealing with a lot less income right now, and we are making it work. And so that's where that's more my passion to share with each of you comes from, because I know we did have a place where, like I said, we paid off our debt, but we didn't have principles. We didn't have foundational things like what we have now. We never thought we'd be in this predicament again, but we're here, or we were here. And I think that because of these principles and these foundations, these truths that we have, we will never go down this road again. Never. I am fully confident of that. So a couple other notes. With paying debt off, one of the things or the questions was, did it affect your credit score? Yeah, it did, but we weren't trying to get credit any longer. And, so, the pre-approval stopped coming in, woohoo! But we weren't like in a place where we needed to get approved for anything, but also, they've began to come again. I don't know what our actual score is, just because we've just been focused on getting everything resolved. And that could have been of discouragement during the time that we were working through everything. But I'm ready to check our credit scores, and I'm excited to see what those will be. And so I'll keep you posted on that. But the bottom line is that cash is king and debt is dumb. And whenever you're walking into a store, whatever it is that may be, cash really is something that you're more emotionally attached to versus using your credit card. So I challenge you to try that. When people agree about money, they agree about life. And that was like, we weren't agreeing. My husband and I were not agreeing with life because look at that little piece of hair. It's like sticking up right there. We weren't agreeing about life because we weren't agreeing about our finances. A budget, an emergency fund will revolutionize your marriage. And I am here to tell you, it does. It has revolutionized our marriage. I am completely humbled and in awe of what God has done through something like aligning our finances. Even just the gift of being pregnant, once again, it's like this particular baby is like our gift, and our baby of restoration, because there's been so much that has happened in the last year and a half. And I'm telling you, it has revolutionized our marriage. We talk. One of the ways that we make sure that we don't go over what we've agreed on and to hold each other accountable is we have it set up on all of our accounts that if we exceed over one penny, each of us gets a text message and we get an email. So we're very serious about this. We were stealing from our family's future for so long, and I'm tired of that, and we were tired of that. And just to know that we are changing the way that our children think about money and handle money, and that they're not going to have these type of strongholds with money. We don't want them to be raised with a clenched fist. And that's really what this has allowed for us to do and live, is be free with money. It's just money. It comes and it goes, and it's just been really neat to see my children. I shared yesterday about having a commissions opportunity, and I will share more into that. It's not on like you get paid to be an active member of this household, but for extra things that are more work for me and can relieve my duties. they can earn an income from that. And it teaches them the value of work, and it teaches them ethics, and they like to earn. And with their earnings, they learn how to give, they learn how to save, and they learn how to be able to spend. And so often they spend on others, and it's just so neat to be able to see us live, teaching them to do that, being the example of this. My son, he's 10, my oldest son, and he just recently said or asked, Mom, can I stay with you after I'm 18, because I want to save and build my own home, and I want to pay cash for it. And it just humbled me, but you chuckle because most kids are saving up for their car, and I'm here, my son's talking about saving up for his first home so he could pay in cash. He actually asked if he could open up a savings account specifically for this home that he wants to build. And it just really, it just humbled me, because that's not something that we would have been instilling in him 2 years ago. So, how you spend your money defines your character. And our character was not very fruitful. It wasn't showing fruitful with how we were spending. And it's not just about the task, it's about the process. Money represents a scorecard for men. So the amount of money that a man makes, it defines, like when my husband was making peanuts, when we were in a really tough time, or when he was unemployed, it really had him depressed, and it affected how he led our family, and it affected the decisions that he made for our family. And then how financial security is the touch women need. So when my husband wasn't able to provide, it really made me insecure with our future. And then we butted heads, and then it was out of sight, out of mind. And before you know it, you're in a financial emergency and a marital, sorry guys, you're in a marital pit. And that's no way to live. And that's no way to show our children how to have a godly marriage. So money problems are the number one opportunity in marriage, or the reason for a divorce. And so we have made it our opportunity and no longer our reasons for divorce. So when you agree on your finances, it removes fear. And there's always a saver and there's always a spender in each couple, in each marriage. And I would definitely be more of the saver, and my husband would be more of the spender. But we both, we both like to give. We are both givers, and we love to give. And that's definitely one of the hardest things with our season of unemployment and low wages, and the things that we've been through in the last 6 years. That has been one of the hardest things, is not being able to give, and also having to be on the receiving end of people giving to us. So that's kind of my touch on paying off debt, and I guess more of the purpose of paying off debt. And then, changing your mindset. And I hope I didn't ramble too much. I really wanted to just share kind of some of my bullet points. And then I did add up the numbers. Yesterday I shared kind of where my starting was on November 1st of 2016. And then as of November 6th, 2018, I went and I logged, and our car balance is $88.28, and that's what we have for debt that has interest that we're working on. So we've paid off, it's $23,611.43 since we began this particular program, which was about 18 months ago. And so what we do to pay off debt is we look at kind of what's to come, and we have, the amounts that we have coming in, and then we have the debts that we want to pay off. And what's highlighted is kind of what's come in, and then what's been paid. And it's just really neat. I mean, some of the amounts were like $2,300, $7,800. Like, it's crazy. Those are highlighted and they're gone. They're one and done. So we've tackled like some of the bigger things, and that's the biggest thing, you guys, is having a plan and sticking to it, and making sure that you're having financial meetings. Monthly budget meetings are super, super important. And being on the same page. Like I said, I'm like a pen and paper type of person. I'm most effective that way. Excel sheets and all that stuff really just overwhelm me, believe it or not. But like I said, I have like just a little calendar from the Dollar Tree, and I sit and I just you know, for each month. This is just an example of a month. Oh, things are falling. I have everything written out as far as what's due, and my goodness, it's gone down so much because there's so many less debts and commitments that we have things coming up, like, you know, vehicle registration. We choose to have a PO box. We have little things like that coming up, but we can pay them, and we can pay them without skipping a beat. And it's just such a praise, because that wasn't the case a year ago or 2 years ago. The other thing are check registers. Use them and check them and be aware of what you're spending. Like I said, most of it is either auto withdrawals that we have allocated in one account, and then the rest of it is where we just withdraw our cash, and we have it, I do in line for each thing, so that it's not like, okay, wait, what was $400 removed for? Rather than like, okay, 80 for this, 100 for this, and that type of thing. So that's what I have to share with you about debt and mindset change, and I hope that you found it of benefit. And yeah, just do it. Do it. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm trying to answer as much as I can as they come along, and your feedback is greatly appreciated. And yeah, so just share with me one of the most encouraging things you found from this video or this group so far, and continue to ask questions, because that's kind of how I know which direction to go as far as what I share. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.